50 AM.
Welcome to News That Rocks now on NBC KCAA Radio, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, where your story could be told. What's up, everybody? Welcome to News That Rocks right here on KCAA Radio, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. Today I have a special guest, Sandra Baby. She does model and she's also into entrepreneur, meaning she has her own business. I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably know what it means, right? And then she has her own company, and that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to start with the questions. Can you introduce yourself, please, Sandra?
Hi, I'm Sandra Baby 505, and I am a model, and I also have a business for Sandra Management Company.
All right, Sandra. So let's start. We can start with the questions.
Okay.
It's okay. Sometimes we get a little nervous. It's fine. I think you ain't the first that gets nervous in here. I get nervous too in here sometimes. Okay. So how did your journey begin in the modeling business? Meaning, like, what inspired you to enter the industry? You know, like.
So for me, I actually started behind the scenes. I was doing the photography and all the backlights, drops, and all the fun stuff. So as I was going to these events, the models would pull me in. The other photographers would want to work with me. So eventually, I just said, "Fine, I'll do it." And that's how it went. I didn't know where to start, but little by little, I just kept meeting a lot of different new people, photographers, magazines. It just kept growing from that point.
I saw that you also have your own company, right? Your own, correct me if I'm wrong, entertainment or modeling?
It's a connection for the entertainment portion of it in general. So I started it, just like I said, with the modeling thing, and because I did so many different events, I never limited myself to just one thing. So I did runway, magazines, events, videos, and so many different things. So I met a lot of different connections, and then they started asking me for different people, or do you know this? Do you know that? So they kind of, said, you need a network. You need to find some kind of source. So little by little, I'm like, okay, if I got down to the point that it was a lot of with me, and there's some that were just I can help others. So that's why I kind of created this one. So it kind of gave a brand, so we can all merge together and grow together.
Nice, nice. Another question. I seen you because you know how you do I do my homework and stuff like that. You have pictures with Mr. Capone.
I did.
Mr. Capone.
I went to one of his events.
You modeled like have you come out like in any of his videos yet?
No, I just was able to meet him at one of the events, and I think that's kind of where it goes with a lot of these things. I've worked with some of the other artists, and eventually just, merging, meeting them, and then, eventually growing from that.
Our local rapper too, little G 909, I think that's how he
Yes,
put
Little
himself.
G.
Yeah, I knew him since high school. I remember when he was in high school. He was the one that used to protect me. And now we all changed, we grow.
Yes,
we all
yes.
adults now, and
Yes.
we grow. But the show is about you. Never turn your phones on, guys, because that was my fault. It's all part of the show. Anyways, when did you decide, like, I'm going to start a company? You already probably said that to help other models, but I think this is a good question. What do you think the first step, if like somebody that wants to start in the modeling business, meaning a female? I know that sometimes we say that females have it harder than guys, right?
Well, the reason why I kind of started it too is because going through the journey, I've come across some amazing people that are, crazy supportive. But I also came along with some individuals that were a little bit red flag. So as a woman, coming into the industry, it could be a little scary because you don't know who to trust and who not to. So at this point, I've come to work with a lot of different people, and I basically weeded out the people that I felt were not for me. So, and that being said, I would like to merge them to people that I know I could trust, to the models that are, whether they were new to the industry or they're established, but they haven't worked with my other photographers. So I think that's kind of like where it went from there.
I think I know where you're going with this because sometimes in this industry, um, we're not gonna say straight out like that because we know we're on air, we know we're on a family show and everything, but we have inappropriate people in this industry that sees females just because they're a female, they think they could get away with certain stuff.
Right,
And
correct.
and that's wrong because women are more powerful. Okay, we're not gonna get to that because then I'm gonna get everybody. What do you mean that? What do you mean that? But you know what I'm trying to
I
like.
do.
Like women could do the same thing equally as a man. I think so, and it's always good to. I think it's always good to have let's say a king is not a king unless he has a queen.
Right.
You know,
Right.
they say that. They should say that. Says that, and I totally agree with that because I think it's my opinion that women are smarter in a way. In a way, and it's
I'll
my
take
opinion.
it.
It's my personal opinion. I think behind a man, there's a queen that leads him to the right way.
I feel like with me, I'm so used to being the nurturer in whatever I do in the outside world that coming into the scene, I just kind of developed that within this industry as well, that I could show that the same love and support back to anyone that I come encounter with.
Exactly, because now what we're seeing nowadays, more women are in this industry now, and it's not like back in the 70s or 80s or 60s where only men could do it. And it's nothing against. I'm a man. I'm saying it. I'm a man, and I'm being honest. Like it's nothing against nobody or anything like that. We're just speaking facts. Nowadays, you see more women having companies. They're doing it on their own independently,
Right.
and it's not like in the 80s where I need a man to support me. I need this. That's actually pretty good right there. We see that, and I see that
Right.
that's what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
You done. I see that you done with magazines. Download. Correct me if I'm wrong. Download magazine.
Correct.
And you also done it with
With Fast Life.
with Fast
I've
Life.
I worked with a few of them, to be
A
honest.
few of them. There you go. That's the correct word to say. A few of them. See, this is when I call professionalism, man. I like how she comes in. See what I mean? Like
Thank
that's
you.
actually pretty cool. So another thing in the modeling career, there's a lot of challenges, right? And yes, I'm reading the question. There's a lot of challenging, meaning, especially when it comes. I heard stories about guys too, and I heard stories about girls too. But right now, we're seeing more females going out there. We had Gally here last time. She told us that she had some uncomfortable situations
Right.
before. That's what we're gonna say. We had a couple
Mm-hmm.
of. Have you ever been through that?
Honestly, because I surround myself with pretty amazing people that, yes, you have people that may say things or approach you, but because I know how to communicate, I can shut it down really quickly, let them know that they are speaking to a woman. They are not speaking to, someone that's throwing themselves out there in a different light. So, but I can correct with grace and courtesy. And like I said, if there is a situation where it's a little bit more uncomfortable, then I reach out to the people that are doing these events and letting them know that there was something that happened. And, if you don't speak, you don't know. So we have to kind of use our voice in terms of if there is something that happens, you need to be able to have a trusted source.
There's a say on Spanish, but I'm gonna say it in English that it says you gotta speak up. If not, people are gonna think they're gonna feel comfortable telling you those stuff,
Right.
and you gotta tell them, hey, like, back up, like,
Right.
don't do this, like, knock it out, please. This is like your first warning, like, don't do this, and then if they keep doing it, then that's considered, well,
Right.
harassment.
I think with me, like I said, I stay active. Whenever I'm doing these events or photo shoots, things like that, I just keep it going, keep it moving. I mingle with everybody, get to know everybody, but I don't sit there and chat. I don't have that time to do that, to be honest. So I make sure I get in, get out, and make my presence known, but not too much.
Just today, huh? You had the time. Nah, conversation with us.
Well, I
No,
made the time.
yeah, she really did. Like, I really gotta give it up to her. Like, she did make some time to come here to the studio and be on this radio show. So we gotta give her, as my old engineer used to say, brownie points. No, I'm just messing. I'm getting some brownie points. Nah,
Thank you.
but how do you define yourself in the future? I don't know if you might have a brand or you're planning on doing a brand.
Honestly, I'm just kind of going with the flow at this point. Right now, I just actually created the management page. I started it. My brother had just passed, and I think in a way it's still inspirational. But I started it in mid September, and because, like I said, everyone's been approaching me of when I need to have that network or that source.
Yeah.
So that being said, I figured this year I've been kind of, getting the brand, getting things going, and then, come January I can really put, full force in and make it grow and just keep growing with everybody. And
You have like future projects in
oh,
in
absolutely.
the one more thing. I definitely have to see this. What's worse? Like, okay, what were the early challenges that when you started, when you first started in this industry? You're welcome to answer it and not answer it. Just to
Okay.
let you know. What are the challenges that you had when you first began, like your journey as a model? Like what is if you could please tell, like, young women that want to become, meaning when I mean young woman, I mean adult women. That's what we mean. Like when they want to start in this industry,
Hmm.
what do you recommend them? What do you think?
Well, I definitely feel that you need to do your homework on who you're connected with. And also, like I said, for me, feel free to reach out to me. I have so many different sources that I know I can trust around the female, male in the industry. But I think that doing your homework, doing things that you feel comfortable, wearing what you feel comfortable. Also, there's times that you're doing photo shoots and you want to make sure, you're putting yourself out there how you want to be because it's not going to go anywhere. Once it's out there, it's out there. So you have to make sure that you are proud of what you're doing and what you're wearing. And if you feel that it's something that you feel uncomfortable with, whether it's people, a little bit too touchy, too close to you, or whatever, just speak up, say something. And if you ever feel that there's something off, I definitely trust your gut and, pull back on that. If you don't feel it, don't do it.
Yeah, first of all, nobody's supposed to be touching you at all.
No.
Like just hi, bye, and that's it. And that's it. Unless it becomes you build a friendship, then maybe that's different. But just hola, bye, yeah. Like
Well,
you know what I
I mean,
mean?
as
Like
far as it goes for modeling, I mean, they do ask you. Sometimes they'll have you pose a certain thing. They'll ask you, or majority of the time you're doing it yourself. But for the most part, they'll ask permission. Hey, can I do this? Can I help you with this? And so you just have to feel comfortable enough saying yes or no. No, I could do it. Just let me know what you need to be done.
I wouldn't be able to do that. I would be like I'm not comfortable doing this because well, we also had a lot of There could be a lot of lawsuits. There could
Hmm.
be a lot of um polemical stuff
Right.
happening.
And when
Mm.
I say helping you um, to pose is like legit, like tilting your head, go down, So it's nothing that would be inappropriate.
That's
But
good.
like I said, if there is times that you come across individuals, then you need to say something.
Yeah, they gotta be professional. That's why they went to school. That's why they should did their homework. It's like if we have a radio station here, and I start saying appropriate thing, they're gonna get us off air. We're gonna get fired. I'm like, we're gonna get fired. You know what I mean? Because you're supposed to make sure you block the bad words. You're supposed to make sure you
Hmm.
do all that. And if you don't capture that well, well, you're gonna
Right.
end up in this industry. Anyways, back to the questions. It is 12:20 p.m. We're gonna go on a little 3-minute break, and then we'll be back right now with more questions. And we have Sandra B right here, guys, right here on News that Rocks KCAA Radio.
Radio has openings for 1-hour talk shows. If you want to host a radio show, now is the time. Make KCAA your flagship station. Our rates are affordable and our services are second to none. We broadcast to a population of 5 million people. Plus, we stream and podcast on all major online audio and video systems. If you've been thinking about broadcasting a weekly radio program on Real Radio plus the internet, contact our CEO at 281-599-9800. 281-599-9800. You can Skype your show from your home to our Redlands, California studio where our live producers and engineers are ready to work with you personally. A radio program on KCAA is the perfect work from home avocation in these stressful times. Just type kcaaradio.com into your browser to learn more about hosting a show on the best station in the nation, or call our CEO for details, 281-599-9800.
And now, the voices of KCAA with an exciting announcement.
Want to hear NBC News or KCAA anywhere you go? Well, now there's an app for that.
KCAA is celebrating 25 years and our silver anniversary with a brand new app.
The new KCAA app is now available on your smart device, cell phone, in your car, or any place.
Just search KCAA on Google Play or in the Apple Store.
One touch and you can listen on your car radio, Bluetooth device, Android Auto, or Apple CarPlay.
Catch the KCAA buzz in your earbuds or on the streets, celebrating 25 years of talk, news, and excellence with our new KCAA app.
Just do it and download it.
KCAA, celebrating 25 years.
What's up, everybody? We're back right here on News That Rocks on KCAA Radio, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. You can also download the app on your Google Play or your Apple iPhone store, or how do you call it? The App Store? Yeah, the App Store. You can also download it right there. And then Joey's all like, I don't know. All right, guys, we're back right here with Sandra B as our guest right here. It is 12:23 p.m. and we're getting ready to ask more questions, right, Sandra?
That's right.
And then any upcoming or plugs that you want to throw out?
Oh, yes, we have definitely different events that are be coming up. Actually going to be in the beginning of the year. Actually, scratch that.
Okay.
There are going to be events, toy giveaways this month. And then next year, we're doing some photo shoots that we're starting to throw some events out there. I currently got Boulevard Connects, so I'm going to be plugging some of that stuff in there as well. But I will be working with doing some helping with autism awareness with one of my friends, old school functions, and we have quite a few that are lined up as far as it goes for, doing some interviews themselves or even little dancing skits and stuff like that. I work with Media Magic and Fun with Lopez, and so much. So it's a blast. So. Lots of different things coming up.
For more information, they can also follow you on Instagram on where?
Sandra Baby 505, and the business page is Sandra Management Company.
Cool. You don't have a YouTube channel though?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. In the future,
maybe.
maybe.
In the future, I think, like I said, as it's growing, all the different sources of social medias are there. So we're going to keep growing and building the pages and stuff like that. So just stay tuned with whatever is out there on the social media so far. Mostly Instagram.
Just stay tuned, and she'll have more things. That's why we say follow her on her page, and then you'll be posting things
Absolutely.
and updates and all that stuff.
I will be posting
just
stuff.
Like I always do too, but sometimes I make a little mistakes, but it's okay. No, it's okay. Anyways, back to the questions. I believe this is.
It's falling off.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. For those of you who are listening, she's putting her headphones back.
Yeah, they were sliding off my hair.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. What business, or I think we already went over it, but let me ask this: what business or ventures are you currently for? Sometimes when you get questions from there, they're all okay. Let's skip to the other one. What problems does your brand or business aim to solve? And I think you answered that earlier, but for those of you who are barely tuning in right now, if you guys are barely tuning in, she could tell you guys one more time.
So for the Sandra Management Company, I am connecting all the different sources that I've worked with the entertainment portion to modeling to magazines, actually even companies and brands as well. So there's lots of different connections that I'm working with and are building with them. And yeah, pretty much, if I'm all source connections, so just reach out to me so that way we can help
And
plug you in the right direction.
and I know me as a like that I like to promote gear. Maybe let's just say I want to
Right.
promote a T-shirt, a hoodie, what right? Are you open for that too? Like for that booking?
Absolutely.
I think my question was, I'm trying over here to resolve the question. I think the question was like, what are you open for?
For as far as it goes for branding and things of that sort, I do currently do that. So sometimes I see things on Instagram or different social medias, and I say, you know what, it spoke to me for whatever reason it did. So I'll reach out to them individually and say, hey, I'm interested. But sometimes they find me as well. So when it comes to that kind of stuff, I definitely am for it. And just like I said, just phone call away.
Yeah, just that, and you also follow her on Instagram. And she gave it up. She gave the Instagram, social media as well. That actually helps a lot too, huh? Like when you build like
Oh yes.
how do you call this, a media kit? Is that how you call it, a media kit? Or correct me if I'm wrong. You have more experience than me on this industry. That's why.
Well, I mean, what we do a lot of the times is we throw out little flyers, what we're looking for. So basically, like casting calls.
Like
So
casting calls?
casting calls will look for certain type of let's say look, or even if we're in the need of product, we'll throw it out there, like for cars, for whatever it is. We'll throw it out there in a story, and then sometimes in the reels, and we just kind of build together, and collaboration. We collaborate crazy, so we've actually grow with the collaborations, and it's been amazing on that part.
I like one thing that you told me. Presentation. They say first impression counts, right? Which I think my first impression didn't count it. I mean, but anyways, it was just a side joke. It's part of the show. Sometimes we do that in the show. But back to being serious, like presentation. We're talking about being professional, right?
Correct.
How do you think? You know how I invite you, right? How do you think anybody in general, not just a model, anybody should come present to a radio station or a promo, let's say a promo interview?
Well, as far as it goes for that, like I said, still doing your homework, because you just don't know who you're connecting with. And it's good if you know someone has already done the interview with them, to reach out to them and say, hey, how did that go? Like I said, so doing your homework and making sure you know who you're working with. If you don't feel comfortable, you should always ask if you can bring someone, so that way you know that you're not alone and doing anything. I would highly suggest, if you don't know the people, don't come by yourself. But I know that you did come with a referral, so that made it more easy for me to be able to come.
Thank you, Gally, for
Thank you, Gally.
for coming down here, and you motivate her to come down here and check it out and see. Let me see what this is all about.
I did. I saw the interview, and it was really nice to see that. Obviously, I support her and her modeling and her tattoo. She's a true entrepreneur. I've seen her do so many different things. So
she keeps it real too. We all know her. She keeps it real and real here too.
So yes, I saw it on her page, and I liked it and commented, and like I said, those are little things that make a difference in finding people and them finding you as well.
Well, me when she came when she came, I personally let her be herself, just like I'm letting you be yourself. Like I always tell people, just be yourself. I think people are just gonna see, oh look, she's being herself. Like she's not gonna really, like she's not being somebody. Because I think people nowadays, they know you got a lot of social media nowadays,
Right.
so they know when somebody's pretending to be something that they're not. I think they,
Right.
you know what I mean, and that's when they start calling you. Are we allowed to say frauditor on air? frauditor, like a fraud.
Fraud.
All right, just making sure. Yeah. I was just making
Fraudulent.
sure. Yeah, I was watching my language because I don't want to. I don't want to get us kicked out of here.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you do deal with a lot of, fake accounts. So
That's where I
it's
was
like I
going.
said, just doing your homework, knowing. A lot of the times it does help when they have that little symbols, but doing your homework, who they're connected with, and make sure that you do know who it is. And if you don't, I mean, you could always unfollow or block or whatever. I know you had mentioned, I think on your one of your questions I had read. I did do my homework because I wanted to know what I was looking for. I was a little nervous.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was. She
I
was
needed to
like,
be prepared.
Who's this guy? Like,
So-
who's this guy? Like, who's this guy?
But yeah, doing your homework and everything, and knowing how to prepare yourself, even with the modeling thing, you just have to know how to prepare yourself and what to wear and how to do it. So ask questions and just learn who you're working with.
In the future, I know like podcast is becoming so popular nowadays. And now you got video podcasts.
Right.
It's like on KCAA radio we have a podcast too. It's like a podcast but it's radio. When you go live, like right now we're live on Kick and everything. Are you ever planning on creating yourself like maybe a podcast, maybe making a podcast about yourself or having a show?
I honestly, I never capped what I could and couldn't do. So those are things I had planned in the works of creating a podcast and growing in the industry. So like I said, if you stay tuned with what I'm doing, I guarantee you there's going to be lots of different surprises of how to build in the industry, whatever way you're looking for. So because I like to get to know people, pick their mind, and see what they want out of this so I can help direct them in the right direction.
I'm over here trying to ruin the surprises that you have, huh? I'm over here trying to ask all the questions right here.
It's okay.
And be all like, just wait till.
There's just so much going on. As soon as I created that page, oh gosh, I had so many different things coming up. So I had to kind of keep track, and because I was dealing with the loss of my family, I had to put on hold a little bit, and that's okay to do, but I had to put on hold a little bit. I took all my homework of what needs to be done, and just kind of pre-planning stages of how do I make that happen. So there's a lot of things that are in the works. Coming next year is going to be very exciting with this growth. So I definitely highly recommend you keep following, keep sharing, and
I'm looking forward to support you.
Thank you.
Like, I believe it or not, like I pay attention. A lot of people think, he doesn't pay attention. He's just getting a check. No, guys, we're not getting a check. I'm like that. We're not getting a check. We pay attention to. I personally like to do things that I like.
Right.
Just like you like to do things that you like what you're doing right now is
Right.
like, I know they call it a job, right? But you're like, no, this is actually what I always wanted on my dream, like. Right?
Actually, it wasn't one of my dreams. It was one of the things that was, it was kind of thrown at me. Like I said, it was a challenge for me because I didn't feel that I would be suitable for it. I didn't feel confident enough. So a lot of this in the beginning was confidence building. And I think that's where a lot of people are. They feel like, I'm not a model. I'm not this. I'm not that. But how do you know unless you try? So that's how I did it. Just like I said, one day at a time, one event at a time, and just find myself where I'm comfortable in the environment. So it helps show a different you. Like you glow and you're happy, and when you're comfortable, and you could tell for sure when you're not. So that's, I think, the biggest source is making sure whatever you decide to do, ask these questions to say, is this for me? And if you feel that, yes, I can do this, then great. You can plan ahead, but otherwise it's okay to say no, because you're going to have plenty of opportunities out there to be able to decide what's for you.
I totally agree with you on that. Like, sometimes you think, being a skater is I want to be a skater. I want to be a policeman, or I want to be a this. And then when you end up growing up, I don't want to be this. I don't want to be this. And sometimes it comes to you, huh? Like
Yes,
it comes to you. Like you're not even looking for it, and then all of a sudden you have a lot of opportunities.
Right.
No matter how many times you mess up, people give you chances. I'm
Right.
telling you from experience, and probably you. I don't know. That's
Same here.
that's where I'm going with this question. Have you ever had that thing where like you feel you're falling, but somebody motivate you like keep going?
Actually, all the time.
Yeah.
I do feel that sometimes I don't get so many negative comments. I have a lot of love and support in my page, and I appreciate it. I know when I share things, they repost and they reshare, and I feel the love, and it's so genuine. But there are times that sometimes it's the people closest to you, or sometimes it's, just people out there that with the hard critics that you feel like, do I want to continue doing this? But as long as I'm happy doing it, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to keep motivating myself, keep encouraging myself, and just doing things where I feel that I feel good. I genuinely enjoy dressing up, and the pictures are just capturing the moment of my my happiness.
Who inspire you? It could be anybody. It could be a musician. It could be something it could even be your mom. It could be your dad. It could be your brothers. Who inspire you to do like, man? You know what? It don't matter what people think of me. I'm just gonna do me. I'm gonna do me, and I'm gonna do my my own stuff, my own company. What inspired you to do that?
Honestly, I think I had a little bit of everything. I had some of my family members that I have seen have their own business, but I also feel that a lot of the people in the industry really kind of pushed it. Say, "Hey, Sandra, you're doing good," and keep up the good work. Like I said, there's so much of a want and a need in the industry of like, how do we find this? How do we find that? So I feel like it fell into my place, and I just, in the beginning, I'm like, I have to, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to think about it, be smart about it. But as the time went on, I said, you know what? I'm okay now. I'm ready. So at this point, this is what you see. I'm ready to build with everybody and figure out how to keep growing. Like I don't even know. I'm not capping myself. The sky's the limit.
No, you're being real. Cause I seen, like I said, you do your homework. I seen photos with you, Mr. Capone. Whether they hate him or like him, he's doing his thing. He was doing his thing. He made money. He made we're being honest. He made money. Whether they hate him or like him, he made money. It's like they say, not everybody likes the same flavor as a cake. Mm-hmm. Not everybody likes just create your own flavor. Create your own flavor. Somebody your own recipe.
I've worked with a lot of different artists, whether some of them actually it was exciting because I grew up listening to the music and, Lighter Shade of Brown and things like that. Like I grew up and loving the music, and then being at these events and actually getting to meet them. It's like, it's exciting, So I feel like just starting with this modeling thing, it has grown so much more where I'm meeting people that I've never thought I would meet, and I'm continuing to do that. Even with now, like it's not just modeling; it's doing some short film here and there. It's being in music videos. It's the opportunity is out there. You just have to know where to go and just know yourself better enough that you can say yes or no to something.
Exactly, because what if they telling you, we're gonna say it like this, you gotta move some cakes. We're gonna say that. You gotta move some cakes. You be no, I don't. I'm a professional. I don't move cakes. I don't know. I think you know what I'm trying to say. Like I don't move cakes. I'm a professional. I came here just to get a job as a model, not be moving cakes.
Well, for me, because I have I don't know if that leadership role, I don't know what it is, but I don't mind helping out in any other way. For me, yes, I started as a model, but guess what? I'm also throwing events. I'm participating. I'm doing the homework of gathering the people together. So, I guess so. So yeah, it depends on what it is, but I don't mind being that person, that helping hand.
Right, because you remember like when you started, and you're like, well, I was that person. I didn't even know, had no clue what was this all about.
Right.
And then you're like, maybe I could lead them. The little that I know, because you always got to be humble, you know what I mean? Like, the little that I know, maybe I could teach them a little bit
Absolutely.
of what they, and that goes for my question right now. If I could find here.
With the
during-
modeling?
For the modeling, yeah. What does success mean in that industry? Like, when did you say, okay, I completed, or no matter how many things you complete, you still want to do more?
I don't know if I actually could say I completed because I'm still actively doing it. I just feel that it hasn't just branched off just to taking pictures. It's come to, they want to see my personality, so they're putting me in film. They're recording me. They're asking for more of the behind the scenes stuff. So it's kind of giving me that extra push. Like, I don't normally do this, but let me do this. And so I feel that I'm not capped right now. I'm still actively growing in the industry. And as I see all the new people coming in, I try to help guide them in the right direction, because I know you're always going to be uncomfortable in the new environment. So I would like to make sure you're welcome, at least around me. I can't speak for others, but around me, I want to make sure you're okay. I know I'll be doing my own thing, taking my own pictures, but I'm still watching this, behind the scenes as well, and make sure that everything is running smoothly. And that's how I do things personally. But, yeah.
And sometimes people don't know that we take our pictures by ourselves. Like, people go like, who did that cover for you? And then you're like, I did it with my phone. Sometimes that happens, huh? Like, sometimes
When you're doing selfies?
Yeah, when you're doing selfies, like, people be like, how do you did that? Like, because like, the new generation, they know what's going on. I'm 35, by the way, for most people that want to know. And I still live that era where we had flip phones. We had to use real cameras to take pictures, and the film. I know about the film too, and then it became the little memory cards. It became easier in computers and stuff like that. But back then, I'm pretty sure it was a little harder to do all that, huh? Because you have to do film. You have to.
Well, I did actually do that old school photography.
That's where I was going.
Yes, that's what I said. I started off doing that since I was young. I was in 5th grade and getting awards for my photography, black and white. So yes, I did. I developed my own film. I did my own pictures, but it has grown a long way with you're able to do it such amazing pictures just with the phone. So yes, if you're able to capture it yourself, great, but if you're able to work with all these amazing photographers that are out there as well, I highly suggest, do that. Keep building your portfolio in however way you can. Sometimes you're just starting off of doing a little selfie, and then you work your way up.
And it's wild, like, how you could, not wild, but like the technology, how amazing it is that now you could put your phone here and
On a
10
tripod?
seconds, and you take a picture, and that's it. You don't even need nobody to take your picture sometimes. But we still recommend, if you want to build a professional portfolio, go to a professional, because they know. It's like Sandra, she has her company, she will lead you to the right way. The right way, when I mean like the professional way. That's what I'm trying to say. Because anybody could take pictures and be like, oh, I'm right.
Well, you can help to let them know what they're, like I said, what are they looking for in the industry? Are they looking for just having pictures just for fun, or do they want a little bit more than that? So, but yeah, as far as it goes for looking for in-depth information, I definitely have those sources, and if I don't know, I can find someone that does.
And she will. This is true.
I will.
Even like how do you call it? Cinegraphics, right? When you make it look like cinegraphics. We got to give these people props. Like, a lot of people think, oh, I have a phone, I could do it in here. I don't think you could do it the same way as somebody from a studio. Or what do you think?
Well, no, I work with a lot of videographers as well, that some do it through their phone, and they make it work. But then they have others that have that professional cameras that definitely looks like it's commercial when it's just, just them doing them. So it's pretty amazing on how they do everything. And, it's a lot of equipment that definitely doesn't go unmissed.
In other words, technology had got better. Even phones have got a little better with the video and the photos. They have got a little better. who knows? Maybe in the future that will replace cameras, and but we never know. We never know, cause
Right.
but one more thing. Let's see. It is 12:46. Let's go with the other questions. Gotta be counting myself sometimes. When you started in this industry, I'm thinking about a way to say this. Radio edition, radio edition. You have a lot of men that are not good. That are not good, and then you have the ones that they have the same. They're on the same page as you. You want to make money. Have you ever been to that situation? And you're welcome not to answer it either. Have you ever been on that situation where a man tries to offer more than professionalism? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I filter out on a daily of what, like I said, your DMs go off like crazy as you grow into the industry. And you're filtering constantly the good and the bad. And, unfortunately, you're going to have inappropriate stuff being sent to you, but that's a given. And as far as it goes for that, I mean, you can entertain it if that's what you want, or just block it. For me, I personally don't encourage it, so that's not my scene. But as for anyone else, I mean, I feel that if it makes you feel uncomfortable, definitely,
block them.
Block them.
Block them.
Block them.
Block.
It's not needed. I feel that anyone that is going to make you feel uncomfortable, not support you, they don't need to be a part of your scene.
That's true, because if they're not there with the good intent, that's the word, yeah, good intention, then why you need them? If they're there with the good intention, like me, when I talk to you, I keep with a good intention, like, and you notice it right away. If not, she wouldn't even be here. She would like, screw this
definitely
dude,
would have been here.
right. That's all. That's why I'm saying, like, guys, when you want to approach, they
be respectful.
Be respectful, yeah, because they are models and everything, but it's art. You have to see it as art. You can't see it as an object. They're not objects. It's an art. It's a career. It's a job. They model for radio stations. They model for a lot of clothes, gear,
professional.
brands.
A lot of us do like to do professional work, so we do expect to be treated in the most professional way. And if you can't, then like I said, you don't need to be messaging us.
And you don't need to be on this industry either, because you're gonna make us.
And
look.
we've had to come across some of them that we put them on a red flag just to let them know, like, hey, you know what?
Put them on blast.
We do. I mean, on a daily, there's a lot of industries, a lot of people that companies that'll throw out their different services, and you just basically have to say no, thank you. That's not happening, and report and talk and make sure you're sharing that, so that way everyone else is safe in the industry.
Everybody tells me that I defend women a lot, but you gotta understand, women go through a lot. Like, 'cause back in the days in this industry, men used to run this thing, and some men were like not appropriate. They were like very, very unprofessional in a way. Like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do favors, you have to do this and that, and that's not how it, at least me, that's not how I think.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna hire you, I'm hiring you I want you to model for my car show, for my cars, not for something else, like for my car. That's why I hire you. And then when you come, they tell you, oh, you come here for, no, that's not what I signed up for. That's not what I signed up for. I signed up for your car show. If you want something else, then you should look for somebody else if you don't do that.
Well, it's always good to know who you're working with. So if you don't know who you're working with, then I would highly suggest ask more questions and don't be alone.
Exactly.
As long as you're asking these questions, getting to know these people. For me, a lot of my people that I work with, I've met firsthand. So I could see, okay, your face, I could see your demeanor, and I can go from there, judgment call. But if I don't, then I ask around, do you know who this is? And, I do my homework, like I said. So I highly suggest, if that's what you're doing, getting into the industry, make sure you know who you're working with before you work with them.
A message that you want to give to those girls that, okay, sometimes, and I think this is a good message, there will be a guy that will approach you, hey, are you interested in modeling? are interested on modeling, but they're not really, their intentions are not really, because it has happened in the, on our streets, it has happened before, speaking from a street view. What do you recommend them to watch out for, if you can explain a little bit?
Okay, so how I would filter someone approaching me for work, I would ask them what they're looking for, and as far as it goes for the clothing, the environment, the setting, everything. I ask detail everything what they're looking for in the shoot, or maybe even videos and things of that sort. So I make sure I know exactly what to expect, and I've never had an issue where nothing, like it was a gray area, because I do ask questions and I know who I'm working with. But in the event that you don't know who you're working with, you have to kind of feel your gut and know that the conversations actually speak louder than words. I mean, honestly, whether it's in person or through the chat, you have to kind of make sure you're really reading it thoroughly. And if you feel that there's something that doesn't sit right with you, I just go with that. I honestly won't even pursue any kind of shoots if I feel that there's something different than what is being asked of me.
Something very like shady, huh?
Yeah,
like
I would
shady,
definitely,
yeah.
if I feel it's a little bit more flirty, then I kind of, I'll ask these questions and I'll make sure to know. And like, if they can't answer it, like I said, it's just a judgment call. It's, getting to know who you're working with before you work with them.
Exactly. That's a good message right there, and I actually like that message that you gave, because that's also advice for those of you who want to start in this industry. Watch how you approach somebody, because the moment when you approach me, you're gonna hire me, and you approach me in a way like who's this guy? I'm gonna be like, who's this guy? I never heard of this brand. I heard of you, Sandra. I heard your company before because of Gally. You know what I mean? Because Gally
Yes.
has mentioned it before and everything. But I'm not gonna bring anybody into this studio, this home. We call it like home
Right.
for us. And you're not gonna bring somebody to your house that you don't know, because you don't know their intentions.
It's good to have referrals, because like I said, you get to know them through other people. So sometimes even going to events are a great thing, because it's in a community-based environment. A lot of the times it's family-oriented, but you get to see them outside of just doing a shoot individually. So I highly suggest go to these events, get to see, mingle, meet people, greet, share these connections, these collaborations. And as you keep going, you can just keep building those bonds and relationships in the industry, so you can kind of filter, this is more of my scene and this is not.
That is a good thing. Before we go, I know we got like 4 minutes left, 5 minutes left. Thank you, Joe, for correcting me. I'm not good at math. I'm just messing around. But can you throw one more time? Can you tell people where they can find you and how they can book you? You can also throw phone numbers if you want.
Okay. Well, I won't throw any phone numbers out. I don't do that.
Business phone numbers. That's what I meant.
I still don't do
Business.
that. But you can find me at Sandra Baby 505. That's my modeling page. And also Sandra Management Company. That's where this new entertainment world is coming through and connecting with all the different events out there. So I highly suggest follow both of them. And, I post on both.
And any music videos?
Oh, there are probably music videos in the works, but nothing I can think of offhand.
In the future. There you go.
In the future. I don't do the singing. I'm just a model, and I've been in some already that have been pretty cool. I worked with Ozzy, and so there's a few music videos in there that you can see. Check it out.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for today, because we're look, Joe's looking at me because I did it on purpose. I'm like, you got 4 minutes, guy. 4 minutes. Guy. Nah, we did that as part of the. Sometimes we do this on the show, like it's part of the show.
Right.
Well, at least that's how I did in my show, and everybody started like, "What do you mean we only got like 4 minutes?" Because we had a situation before where I said it was 12 minutes, when I first started, and everybody was like, dude, it's 12 minutes, like 12 minutes before that. And then we started doing that. We gave this idea of that way people will know what's going on. Before we go, like you said, can you throw in an event that is coming up? You have a toy drive, you said, or what is it?
There's a toy drive coming up. Actually, it's a toy giveaway, and then we have autism awareness. We also, what else is there? There's another event that we're going to do a photo shoot with bike collaborations. So, and I'm working real closely with my friend Johnny, and just a few other things that are out there that we're going to be doing.
What about, are you planning on, what? Oh, sorry, I apologize. I apologize. I think that's look at Joe. Joe is looking at me like, one more question before we go. What keeps you grounded outside of work? Meaning, I don't know what it meant by that question, but like, what keeps you going? Like life, you know how life sometimes hit us, and what keeps you going? What motivates?
I get obstacles thrown all the time, and I think just knowing that I'm surrounding myself with some amazing, positive people, I definitely I think that kind of helps motivate, and I like I said, I like to learn about myself and what makes me feel happy and comfortable, and so I kind of pick my brain. Like I said, sometimes when I'm going to these events, I'm just kind of like, I'm excited because I want to know, what am I going to wear next, you know? So it's kind of just learning myself in this industry and figuring out what makes me happy, what makes me smile.
You seem like that, like if, that's why, like, you feel the good vibe, like you can feel that good vibe, like, and you also try to help people. I was just looking at something right now. That's why I was like, oh, man. So unprofessional, Octavio. You're like, so unprofessional, Octavio. Nah, but people who listen to my show, they know that it's just like, I used to have a podcast back then. So we were like, just used to kick back all the time. But this is a radio station. We got to give them, you know what I mean? I think that's
a radio station. So I think with me, it's like, just taking a chance, you know. So let's take a chance on me.
Take a chance on her, like the song says. Like, take a chance on me. Yeah, that song.
Dedicate that to whoever needs it.
Dedicate it to the oldies. By the way, Angel Baby every Friday 6 till 9.
There you go.
6 to 9. Angel
Check
Baby.
it out. I do have the app now, and I follow it. So I highly suggest you do the same.
And you can also follow us on News That Rocks radio show, and you can also go to the KCAA website. And you can find me right there. And that's it for today, guys. And thank you for listening to News That Rocks right here on KCAA Radio 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.